Hi everyone, and welcome to Heather's Handcrafted Soaps. Today I'm going to show you how we make our really popular lip balm. Now, I'm not going to share my exact recipe because my recipe has been developed through lots of trial and error, but I will put a link below to the recipe where I got my inspiration, and that is from HumblebeeAndMe. So now let's get started. Our first ingredient is coconut oil, and we're going to make 2 separate batches here. Our next ingredient, deodorized cocoa butter. We use deodorized because if it's not, it smells like chocolate, and we don't want that chocolate smell in here. We just want that yummy cocoa butter flavor. So we're going to put that in to each. Next, we're going to add our beeswax, and we're using white beeswax because we want it fairly uncolored so that the color we choose will actually come through. And we need every last bit because these are such small amounts that it really does make a huge difference. And last, we're going to include olive oil. Olive oil is really great for your skin. It's very skin friendly, and I love using it in my products. I know sometimes people say, well, why don't you share your recipe? And I'll be honest, it's because I spend a lot of time developing my recipes. I don't just find a recipe and use it straight off the bat. I have to determine how large my batch size is, which oils and butters I want to include in my recipes, and what I want my end product to be. Is it too stiff? Is it too soft? And when developing lip balms, you do have to do a lot of trial and error to determine what works best for you. Now, I'm going to go pop these in pots. Each pot has about 1 inch of water in it, and I'm going to do this basically as a double boiler method, and I do that so that the cocoa butter doesn't crystallize and become grainy. So once this is melted, I'll bring you back and show you what we're going to do next. These are our trays that we use. They're called flood trays, and I get those at Wholesale Supplies Plus. I like the fact that they're silicone so that the tubes stay in them and they're flexible. So all I do now while I'm waiting is I load the trays. And once I get them all loaded, I will bring you back. So now I'm back, and our oils and butters have melted together. I've already added in the vitamin E as well as the lip flavoring. Now this one is going to be our Mermaid Lip Balm. So it's been flavored with cotton candy. And now comes the time to color. Now this is Anastasia. This is from TKB Trading. It is a lip safe cosmetic. If you look on the label there, it tells you that it's lip safe. That's very important. And so we're going to start with just a little bit and then see how we like the color, because it is very pigmented. And because this is really for little girls, I want it to have some color, but not too much color. And no matter how dark it is here, it will always firm up, and when it hardens, it will be a much lighter color. I think that's really pretty. I like that amount. Now, to make it extra special, because after all, mermaids are very important, we're going to add some 24 karat gold color. And this says it is approved for all cosmetic use, including eyes as well. So we're going to add a good little bit of that, because I do want it sparkly for my little mermaids. Oh, pretty. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so I'm just going to close this up so I don't accidentally get color everywhere, because it does happen, and it's quite messy when it does. Okay, you see the gold in there, the gold flecks? That's going to make it absolutely gorgeous. Now I have put down some wax paper. That is to protect my table. Also, it's very easy to clean up afterwards. Now, we're going to use the flood tray, and very carefully, you're going to see it literally flood the area. What's going to happen is it probably will not fill up each of these, but once the ones that have filled up have hardened, I will scoop off the excess, put it back in here, remelt it, and then finish filling them. So let's see how this goes. So as you can see, we have several that have not been filled yet. But once we scrape off the excess and remelt it, we will be able to refill those. So give me just a few minutes and we'll get that done. Okay, so now we're going to scrape off the excess so that we can remelt it.
As you can see, there's quite a lot of product still there. That's why I don't waste anything, and I know that my batch will equal perfectly the amount that I need once I remelt and add. Here we go.
So now we'll take this back over to the stove, put it on for just a few minutes, allow it to melt, and then we'll come back. So now we're back. Our wax is remelted, and we're going to finish filling up the rest of our trays. I'm sorry, the rest of our holders here. And then I just try to go back, and any that have developed an air hole, I'll just dot a little extra on top for them to fill that in. And we'll just wait now for these to finish firming up. And I've also discovered that the best way to clean this is while it's still warm, go ahead and wipe it out with a paper towel, and that gets all the residue off, and you don't have to worry about anything going down your sink and getting into your pipes. And now we're going to make our second batch. To this batch I have added the vitamin E oil as well as the flavoring. And for my strawberries and cream, I actually add a mix of a strawberry flavoring oil and a vanilla flavoring oil, which gives you that amazing strawberry taste. Now, for the color for this one, I'm going to actually use a liquid colorant, and it's a carmine. And I need to shake it up a little bit. There we go. And I do want this a strawberry color. So let's see how that goes. Oh, pretty. Now it won't stay this dark, of course. It will lighten up, but it will be very reminiscent of strawberry colors. I do want it a little bit darker though, so as it firms up, it will be lighter. Pretty, pretty. Okay, so now let's put these in our flood trays and see how they go.
It should be very even. That's me a pretty pink for sure.
So there you go. And just like with the other tray, I will scrape off the excess, remelt it, and then re-pour. And then we'll bring you back. So now I'm going to show you how we take our tubes out of the mold and cap our lip balm tubes. So I just simply flip them over. I take all the lip balm tubes, turn them over on this clean towel. It's going to make more sense in a minute. And instead of picking up each one and picking it up and putting it together, I just go through and find the ones that are right side up and pop them in there. So it makes it a lot quicker and a lot easier to just do it like that. And the one I'm doing now is the Mermaid. And see what a pretty light pink that turned out to be. So I'm just going to finish capping the Mermaid and then also the Strawberries and Cream, and then I'll bring you back and show you how we label them and also how we shrink wrap. And now for the label part. This is an Avery 22806, and as you can see, I do have to cut off part of it. There are 9, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 9. Anyway, I have to cut off part of it just because I need that smaller size to fit. So all I'm going to do is take this, and there's a little straight line on here. Pop it on that straight line, and then voila, you have a beautiful labeled lip balm. And now this is how we shrink wrap them. We start out with a little shrink wrap here. It's made specifically for lip balms, and notice that it has a perforation here. That's so when you put it on, you put it near the top and you twist the cap, and it comes off. And it's pretty easy to put on. So I'm going to do like this. It's just like everything else. It just takes time. So I'm just going to finish shrink wrapping, or at least putting the shrink wraps on these, and I'll bring you back and show you how we actually shrink wrap them using our heat gun. And now for the last part of our video, the actual shrink wrapping process. So I'm going to turn on the heat gun. It's going to get a little loud, so just be forewarned. And I always turn it on low. As the gun heats up, it will get faster. And you might say, well, what's the difference? I can't tell the difference. Okay, to begin with, let's see. You see here where it's not quite all the way down on the tube? Well, as soon as we shrink wrap it, it is completely closed down on the tube. And the perforation goes right here, so all you have to do is twist the cap and open. So guys, thank you so much for watching Heather's Handcrafted Soaps. And remember, as always, see you later. Remember to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, as well as YouTube. Thank you so much, and have a great day.